Formbird fleet runs the show. Keys are tracked, the fuel's in check. Fleet runs smooth, no lost specs.
Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the 27th meetup, which is amazing, 27, I can't believe it, of the Formbird Fleet Professionals community. So we're very pleased to present to you today. We've got a couple of exciting things. Well, actually, we've got more than a couple. So today we're going to be talking about more about the pool vehicle booking system, which is a bit of a mouthful because that's how software companies tend to do things. But also what's happening is people are loving it and it's getting bits and pieces added to it really quickly. And so Adam is excited to present us, and we've even got a live cross, which is our second technically but this is this is a real live cross where Adam gets to do the live cross and not be the roving reporter. Okay, so let's move straight on. Look, if you want to watch these recordings, we put them all on the website. So just under the resources tab, there's a section there with all in the blog. You'll see the videos, they're obvious. And so that's on the website, which is formbird.com. If you're not actually registered to get your own invite, there's also a link on the resources tab where you can join using the calendar. It's very simple and it's fun actually. And then if you want to, you can also give us a like on YouTube so we can become more famous, etc., and become influencers and so on, and become familiar with people. So we're really keen on hearing from you guys. If there's something you want to say, if there's something you want to butt in, if you want to ask Adam, Paul, Mark, anybody a question, even Ed, ask them a question. Just pipe up, because this is two-way interaction. Anyone got a suggestion now, Adam? Do a demonstration of what a suggestion would look like.
Paul, have you thought about including a social media application within Fleet?
That's a really good question. Thank you, Adam. I'll have to think about that. We'll put it around the AI bit somewhere like that. Shall we? I might have to ask. So
get those keywords in there.
Get those keywords in there. This is the new improved AI version of me, and but we're going to cross to Mark over there in the corner office, where he's going to tell us some news. Mark, what have you got?
Morning, everyone, and thanks for joining. I don't know why it's not focusing on me, but anyway, we'll try and do that. Bit of news on the fleet side is that there's a bit of work going on now with some of the costings and integration into Authority. So further integration. We're always keen to try and particularly on Authority and Tech One, enhance on that side. It's always a bit of a challenge trying to get that stuff happening more on their side than our side, but that's okay. It's all moving that way. That's probably it mainly. On the pure technology side, we're just in the throes of releasing our version 5 of our core technology, which is all very technical, and I won't really go into it in terms of some of the things that are coming up until we've sort of fully released that. Paul's testing Fleet on what we're calling our 4.2, which will be our version 5 of the platform. So Fleet is now being tested on what is about to become version 5, which has got a whole lot of technological upgrades. It's again part of the power of our environment is that we can have the application running parallel to the actual core technology and making sure that you guys are getting the latest in technologies while still maintaining the same beautiful app that you are used to and love. So let me now hand it over to Adam, I believe, who's going to demonstrate the new features and functions, and Paul will chip in when Adam's missing a question. and then Chris is going to discuss the implementation of our first fully integrated Keylocker version of the application in terms of pool management. So, Adam,
Perfect.
up to you.
Thanks, Mark. So we're just going to run through the latest developments in the pool vehicle booking system. So originally we demonstrated this back in December of last year and talked about kind of where we're at with those early stages of the booking system. There's been lots of iterations of feedback from people like Shepparton and Golden Plains and Brimbank on the booking system, so it's got a lot of added features and improvements to it. So we wanted to kind of have another session today to go through those changes, demonstrate the integration with the key cabinet. So I've got Ed in the other room there ready to show you guys the key cabinet, and then also talk to Chris particularly about how their implementation of the Formbird booking system integrated with the KeyWatcher key cabinet has gone at Shepparton. So I'll start sharing my screen. As Paul said earlier, if anyone has any questions at any time, please feel free to jump in. All right, so this is our asset booking page. So this is where your driver accounts will land in the application when they log in. It's also available to other account types as well. So operators can get to this page from their dashboard, administrators can, whoever needs to book vehicles can get to this page. The main way that this page is governed based on what is actually in this displayed here is based on this concept of pools. So my account, Adam Gristwood, will only see vehicles which are in pools that I have. So these are all the pools that I have access to, that I have on my account, and only the assets which are in those pools are displayed in this calendar. This whole bit of work around the asset booking system is really to serve a few key goals, I guess, within the organisation. It's largely about making it easier for you guys to manage your booking system alongside all your fleet management. So less duplication of asset information across different systems, less duplication of accounts across different systems, and more of like a one-stop shop for your staff members when they're trying to interact with their fleet. So when they're booking vehicles, when they're doing their pre-start checks, all of those sort of things. On this page here, you can see that I can flick backwards and forwards, so I can move around in the calendar by clicking the arrows next to the start date here, so I can move back and forward in time. I can also select a specific date to jump to in the future, so that enables me to find the exact day and time that I want to book a vehicle for. I can also filter the vehicles based on the pools that I have access to. So, for example, if I know that I want to book a vehicle out of the DRC pool, that's a nice example there from Shepparton. I can click that button and you can see that it's only now showing me those vehicles that are in that pool in the calendar. If I want to get rid of that, I can simply hit this clear filter and that restores the calendar to how it was when I loaded the page. You can see on the left-hand side here all of the assets, and these are grouped by their location. So you can see that I have some here that are at the main office location, some are at our Preston office, and some don't have a location as well. So you can see there that they're grouped by location. On the left-hand side of each one as well, you can see there's a little number next to them. And so that shows how many bookings there have been in the last 3 months. And that's sorted in ascending order. So automatically at the top of the location, you're seeing the asset that's been booked the least. So that's kind of considered, or the goal of that is to make it easy, I guess, for people to book a vehicle that's less utilised, to try and level out that utilisation across your pool vehicles. A few other things here. So when you hover over an asset, you can see some particular characteristics of the asset. So it might be, the towing capacity of the vehicle, the seating capacity. That's quite configurable based on what's on the asset. So you guys can customize that based on what you want to show your people when they're booking vehicles. We're also showing some information about it as well. So you can see here that this particular asset has a little wrench next to it. Up the top here, you can see that the asset's in repair, so it's unavailable. It's been tagged out of the booking system on essentially a permanent basis. That one is. We can see there that it's got a black Bowser to indicate that it's a diesel vehicle, and the tick here indicates that a daily driver check is required on this particular asset. We can see that we've got a few different colours going on in this calendar. So we've got this red colour, we've got an orange colour, and we've got some blocked out periods. These grey blocked out periods represent the available hours, or the unavailable hours, I guess. So on each asset, you can define the days of the week, so Monday through Sunday, potentially your selection of those days and the times on those days which the asset should be available for booking. So this grey period represents where I cannot book. You can see further down the page here, I've got this other one here. So this is a commuter use booking that's in the system there. So the system does allow you to manage commuter use and private use vehicles that are allocated. And make sure that, and manage those within the pool system as well, so that when someone turns up at the office in the morning, their car can become a pool vehicle for other people to book and use while they're at the office. In terms of what these colours mean, we do have a legend down the bottom here, and those colours are configurable as well. So you can see here that the red colour means that the asset's tagged out, the orange means that there's an urgent daily driver created, and the blue is displaying that the asset's in repair. So a recent thing we've added in to the system is basically a relationship between what's happening in the workshop and how that shows up in the vehicle booking system. So if you have one of your pool vehicles booked for service tomorrow or later this afternoon, and that request has scheduled start and end times, it actually will display in the calendar here. In terms of booking a vehicle, it's as simple as selecting on the calendar here and dragging across for the length of time that you want. So you can see here that that's grabbed the booking start at 11:30 and the booking completion at 2 p.m. I can tweak these if I want to. So if I want that to be a little bit sooner, say I want the vehicle at 20 past, I can do that. And I can also change who it's requested by. So I can actually book the vehicle for somebody else. So I can book it for my driver alter ego here. And that can be restricted based on what this person has access to, or it can be left more open. That's all in the configurability. You can see here that we're populating across the mobile phone or the phone number from the account itself. So if you do have phone numbers on each account, then that shows up in the booking system and basically makes that information easily accessible. So if you're in the situation where you have a booking and maybe that key hasn't come back to the key cabinet, the person with the next booking can easily access their phone number and contact them directly about the status of the vehicle, I guess, and their booking. You can enter a reason for booking, so we can select from a few pre-configured options. These do different things depending on what you select. You could select a meeting. If it's a maintenance thing, this will block out the vehicle for a particular period of time. So you could use the request from the maintenance kind of area of the application to block out vehicles, or you could come in here directly and create a maintenance booking. We also have leave bookings as well. So for assets where you have, maybe it's allocated to somebody, it's one of those private use or community use vehicles, but they have access to take that away when they're on leave, so the vehicle might not be available as it typically would be. That leave type or reason for the booking enables that to happen. We can relate it to a specific job. So if we want to say, oh, this booking is for XYZ job, we can select the job that it relates to. You can see there that that's grabbed the location of that job based on that selection. We can also put in our booking notes here. So I can say in here, it's our fleet meter. If I don't like that location, I can enter a different location. So I can use the calendar on the right-hand side here, and I can drop a pin so we can pick somewhere else in Bega that we want to book the vehicle for and describe this destination. Now, these values are all are configurable. So the reason for booking, job name, booking notes, and destination, they're all configurable for you. So you can decide whether you want them to display it all, or as well as whether they should be mandatory for people to enter when they're doing bookings. Just going to adjust that time slightly there. Once I'm happy with my booking details, it's as simple as hitting create the booking. And at that point there, a few different things happen. If the asset is related to a key within the key cabinet, so we can see here another one of these icons is the key with the number 2 next to it. So this particular asset is related to the KeyWatcher key cabinet. Based on us creating the booking here, that goes across to KeyWatcher's cloud system KeyMass and creates a reservation within that system pretty much straight away, instantaneously for that particular person. Then what happens is KeyMass communicates directly with the key cabinet on the wall to create the booking and the access within the key cabinet there. So in a few moments, we'll cross to Ed in the other room there to demonstrate that. You can make bookings as well for assets which aren't managed by a key cabinet. So you can see this Toyota Corolla here. I can make a booking for that one. I can book it for myself. That's probably got enough details. And I can create that booking. You can see there that it's got auto commence and auto close. So because that vehicle isn't managed by a key cabinet, we don't really have that really solid, the key being taken from the key cabinet and the key being returned to the key cabinet to record when the booking starts and ends, or commences and closes. So what we do there is, it's up to you, but kind of a recommended practice is that the booking should just automatically start at the booking start time when it reaches that point in time and automatically close at the end of that. Again, that's a configurable option, so you can define how that should, the default behavior of that for those non-key cabinet managed assets. If I want a bit more information about any other bookings that I see in the system here, I can hover over the booking to see those details. So I can see there who it was booked for, booked by, what their phone number was, the status of the booking. So at the moment it's asset reserved and displaying as green. Once it's commenced, it'll switch colors. We can see the expected start and expected completion times there. If I want to adjust the booking, so if I realize I've made a mistake here, if I come back later and I want to adjust this, I can do that as well. So I can select the booking there, and you can see it's populated those details below. I might want to adjust the times, for example, so I can do that. I can change who it's assigned to if I want. I can change any of those details within the booking, and then simply update that booking. I adjusted the booking start times in the past. That wasn't very good. So you can see there that the system is doing like error checking on what people enter. So if I just enter that, that should do. So we're not allowing people to make bookings that start before now. So now if I update that booking, I should be able to do that. I missed the required field. So let me just reselect that, and I'll adjust the time forward a little bit and go update booking. And you can see here that that's updated the booking there. I can also do things like cancel the booking. So again, I can select it. I can cancel that booking. I can, for these ones, I can manually commence the booking and close the booking. So that is an option for people to do when they log into the application. But we're kind of skeptical that people will do that, will remember to do that for those assets which aren't managed through the KeyWatcher locker. We can also create our pre-start checklist here as well. Ed, are you there?
Hi, Adam. How we doing?
How's it going? Could you show us that key cabinet?
Yeah. Do you want to stop presenting?
I will stop presenting, yeah.
All right. Cool. So this is our KeyWatcher cabinet. So you can just have one of these sort of installed in wherever you want to keep all your keys, so that it's easily accessible to anyone who's booking a pool vehicle. Everyone gets a special logging account code and PIN number. There's also the option of having a swipe card as well, but we've just got PIN numbers at the moment. Just hit the start, and then we're just going to put in the user ID, and then we're just going to put in the PIN. Log in, ask to remove the keys. You can see there's only one key available because I've only booked, well, there's only one booking for this account. You can select it, and then hit remove key, and that's when this will open up for us. You can see that it's highlighting the key for us with the light, so I know which key to pull out. I can't pull out any of these other keys. The system won't let me. It's locked in there pretty tightly. But this one I can pull out. Here we go. Close the locker. All done. Now I have my key. I can go do my booking.
Thanks, Ed. Just to add to that, when the swipe cards are set up, it automatically logs you into the system basically, and then it will also sorry, just bear with me while I reshare my screen. It will also only release that key. So if there's only one key there, it's going to automatically select the key that you're retrieving, and it'll automatically let you open the key cabinet and just select that key like Ed showed you there. So now that has happened in the key cabinet, what's going to happen in the background in a minute or two is it'll go and talk to KeyMass and update KeyMass to say the reservation within KeyMass has started. This is kind of all back-end process. We're not really expecting drivers to need to really know about KeyMass particularly, but it does sit there in the background as the linking between Formbird Fleet and the actual key cabinet on the wall. As soon as that's received by KeyMass, we get a notification about that to say that the key's being taken, and that will start the booking as soon as that takes place. While we wait for that to happen, I'll show you some other things on this page here. So down in the booking notification section, you can see that I can manage, and this is a newly added thing, I can manage my asset booking notification directly from this page. So the asset booking notifications are managed on an account by account basis. So you can, people have the power, I guess, to define whether they want to get email notifications, confirmations about their bookings. Email confirmations, that was an idea that came out of Golden Plains Council. So they've also recently gone live with the Formbird Fleet booking system and the key cabinet as well. So that's come through with that. I can actually show you what those bookings look like, booking confirmations look like, I think. So you can see here that the booking has been created and I'm getting these confirmation details sent through to me. And you can see there that you can add it to the calendar. So whether you're using Outlook or Google Calendar like me or iCal, that just becomes a calendar event that you can add into your calendar. Also, as a driver, I can access past bookings. So if I don't want to use the calendar to find a particular booking, I can scroll down to this booking section and find bookings based on certain criteria. So it's going to default to show me bookings today, basically, and my bookings. I can manipulate this. So I might want to see all bookings. I might want to see only care about all of them in the future, for example. I can change those filters to get that data that I want. And you can see there that it gives you details about the booking, what the asset is, the booking start and end details, booking reasons, destinations, what the current status is of that booking as well. So you can see there are some commenced at the moment and some that are still in that reserve status. If I scroll back up to our booking calendar now, you can see that this booking has changed color. So it's now displaying as red. And when I hover over it there, I can see that the status has changed to higher commenced. So that means that notification has gone from the key cabinet to KeyMass and synced up with Formbird. So that you get that live feedback into Formbird about that the key is actually being taken and the booking is actually in progress. In terms of that situation where we've got an asset that has a request, based on the workshop processes. Let me see if I can find it here. Perfect, this one here. So we've got this asset 68463, and it's got this blue faded section, so I can't book in that period. If we go down to our legend at the bottom of the page, we can see that asset's in repair. So what that is based off is actually a repair request for this asset that I created just before. And you can see here where an asset has pools or belongs to pools and so is available in the pool vehicle booking system. We have this extra bit of functionality so you can define how you want that to affect bookings in the booking calendar. So the auto disable will work on the basis of if it's in the future, that the expected start here and the expected completion, if that's all in the future, it'll block out those times in the future so bookings can't be made at the same time. If we get to past the expected completion time and the booking, this request is still hasn't been closed out, isn't complete, then it will block out that vehicle until the request is resolved in some way or the expected start and expected completions are updated here. Obviously, so that's the default the behavior, but you've got the option to disable it entirely. So just block the asset out of the booking calendar entirely from here, or to do nothing and not let the system automate that blocking out of the asset in the booking system there. So you can kind of keep it more manually handled. But yeah, there is the ability here to do some smart stuff and use what's happening in the booking system, the workshop, to drive what's happening in the booking system. Does anyone have any questions at this point while I catch my breath?
Yep, just a question from Kadini. Thanks, Adam. Just on good mate. Just with the KeyWatcher cabinet, I noticed when the key was pulled out, it was like in like a little piece of plastic or something. Is that something specific that certain type of keys can only be put in there? I'm just thinking of keys that have for vehicles that don't have actually have a physical key. They're just more of a fob.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what goes in the key cabinet is what they call a smart key. And look, I'm not the biggest expert on KeyWatcher here, but I'll talk to the best of my knowledge. So those are smart keys. Basically, they have a little RFID chip in them, which means that the key cabinet can identify which key is in which slot, basically. And then that has a little ring on it that you can attach the key to of the vehicle.
Gotcha.
So it could be the car key with the buttons on it and the lock, or it could be, you might use RFID chips or something like that instead.
No, that makes sense. So it's not the physical, car key goes in there. It's actually, that makes sense.
You attach whatever is going to be used to access the physical vehicle to that little smart key, the KeyWatcher smart key. Yeah.
The other question is, with accessing the KeyWatcher cabinet, you mentioned that you can use a swipe card. At the moment, all our staff have identification cards which have built into that card that they can swipe in to get access into buildings. And then we've got another type of locking system where they've actually just put a little sticker on the back of the card, so they can just use the one card to enable access into two different types of buildings. Is there any way, without having to provide a separate card, is there any way that can be integrated into the one card, whether it's a sticker on the back of the existing card or something similar?
Chris, this might be a good time to bring you in if you're there. You there, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, could you speak to that and the experience at Shepparton? Because you guys have been through this exact situation.
Look, I don't know about the sticker side of things, but we're just using a HID proximity card, which I think is pretty generic for most places. And the swipe card reader is just an RFID swipe card reader, which is, It's 4 wires that plug into the key box. If you've got someone savvy at your place, it's easy to install yourself. But yeah, I don't know about the sticker side of things. It could be something that KeyMass could do in their back end side of things.
Yeah, my understanding is certainly that the KeyWatcher basically take the details of your card and configure the system in the right way to ensure that the card reader can pick up your cards. That
might be the answer.
I think they can do like just like what's those little code sticker things?
QR
codes. I think it can do that as well. So So
it sounds like there's a few different options now.
Yeah, I think there's also, I think, things like fingerprinting and all sorts of things. The one that we'll have problems with is what's termed the secure RFIDs, where there's an encrypted kind of exchange where there's secure IDs. We have this same problem with the telematics and driver IDs and people trying to use their access cards. If it's a highly secure access card, no other system can use it other than that system. Otherwise, obviously, cloning cards and that would be very easy. So there are certain RFID cards that if they're used for access control will typically be locked out of the system. That's where a sticker or another form of, identification comes into it, whether it's as simple as a entered PIN, fingerprint, or just a sticker on the back. That's where it comes into play. But we can't guarantee that all access control RFIDs can be used in the system, because if they are a secure system, they're deliberately secure. So you just don't go around and pick up the key mass and everyone's got access to your buildings.
Yep. No. Thanks for that explanation. I guess that's something we put our IT people in touch with this TMAS to see what they can do. Okay. No, thanks for answering those questions.
No worries.
Anthony had a question.
Oh yeah, Anthony, are you there?
Yes, I just got a couple of questions that I probably should know the answer to. How does an asset become a pool vehicle?
Yep.
And does it run in conjunction with something that is permanently allocated?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's cool. We can answer that for sure. So an asset being a pool vehicle is defined by it having a pool on the asset. And I'll jump in and show you some of that configuration side in a moment after we've spoken to Chris. But yeah, essentially it's driven by does the asset have a pool attached to it effectively, or does it belong to a pool? The second part of your question was around the permanently allocated assets. So that really falls into that situation where you've got a private use or commuter use vehicle. So generally in Formbird, most of the time that's defined by having an allocation, and certainly they can be made available in the booking system as well. So you can, for those vehicles, you can, for example, make them available during business hours while the person is at work if they drive it home.
Yeah, okay. Because I was just thinking straight away of the key cabinet would be really useful for a footpath sweeper that is permanently allocated to someone, but they start at 4 a.m, so it'd be great to have access that way.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big benefits of having the key cabinet is the fact that it can be set up to securely access on a 24-hour basis. So you don't need to have someone there dishing out the key necessarily. People can actually access the key that they should have access to at the appropriate time. There's different layers of access within the key cabinet as well. So there is some configurability on the KeyWatcher KeyMass side, so that people can access different things. So what we showed you there was the situation where you've got a no access user effectively. So they only get access to the key cabinet if they have a active reservation effectively in the system that's within a certain amount of time. Otherwise, they can't access it. But you can set up different types of access within KeyMass so that certain people can access certain vehicles all the time, for example, without necessarily needing to have a reservation within Formbird. There is a bit of there's options there about how you want to manage certain assets.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, on that point, we run in parallel well with the KeyMass application itself, not overriding it. So, for instance, if your internet goes down and all your keys are locked up in the cabinet, there's a certain amount of data that is kept in the cabinet, which means that with a supervisor access, you can open it up, and obviously, as long as you've got power onto the system, and it'll operate. It doesn't require internet, and it doesn't require access to Formbird to give you access to keys that are locked behind there, So if there is a tragedy and your internet is down or whatever, then you do still have independent KeyMass access and operations.
Yeah, because the tragedy there would be that someone would be ringing me at 4 o'clock in the morning to try.
That would be the tragedy, Anthony.
What about if the actual power goes out?
My understanding is they can set up backup batteries and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
the boxes come with backup batteries.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
That's all right.
Look, obviously, if it loses connection to the internet, then Formbird will lose access to be able to create reservations within the key cabinet. So if that kind of problem occurs, then people may not be able to necessarily make bookings within Formbird, and for that to carry through to the key cabinet. Even if it still has power, if it doesn't have that internet connection, then we obviously can't talk to it. But yeah, administrators can still log into the system and access everything. We always set up somebody with full administrator access, and they can retrieve whatever key at whatever time. Chris, could I ask you to talk a bit about your experience, I guess, rolling out the new KeyWatcher cabinets and the booking system?
Okay, so just quick history. We've had the key cabinets for about 8 or 9 years.
Can we see your beautiful face, Chris?
Maybe not.
Oh,
Hello.
there he is.
Oh, there you are. Nice to see you.
So yeah, we've had the key boxes for about 8 or 9 years. We were running on Smart Track, and then when this opportunity came to have the booking system in this great program, we jumped at it and loved it. So integration from old to new, seamless. We had to update our boxes from Gen 1 to Gen 3, and that was with the help of KeyMass. And it took a day. Minor hiccups with it. But then the software integration was we exported file out of Smart Track, the old system, gave it to KeyMass, they put it in to their KeyMass system. That went quite seamlessly as well. Plus, we already had all the data and information in Formbird for all the vehicles, and then it's just simple. All my users, which I thought I would get some kickback from going from old to new, I haven't had any. They love the system. Like it's, they just said it's so easy, it's reliable. I used to probably get about 30 complaints a week with the old system. I'm lucky to get one with this one.
Wow. What are the key things that you're finding, Chris, just so we better understand that we're perhaps doing well or that we can even improve on? What's the things that people, and also that we don't break them, the good things?
The thing is, like, so with my users, they were used to the old system, so they'd go, oh, this function's not there, this feature's not there. So like email notifications are able to change bookings on the fly, able to book for other people. I mentioned that to Adam and you guys, and within a week it's fixed. The plus side is that if anyone would come up with a new idea for it, you guys will just fix it, implement it. You're making this system so easy to use. So, and I have a lot of users that aren't tech savvy, and 5 minutes teaching them and they've got it. So it's how easy this system is. Like, I can't. It's just a great system, Mark. Like, sorry.
Thank you, Chris. I'm blushing.
We always do nice when we get you on this talk.
But it's just so easy to use. Like I have a couple of administrators. Like I was away on leave not that long ago, and I walked away confident. With the old system, I'd walk away going, "Oh, those poor guys." This one I don't have to worry about. Like it's easy. It's easy.
It just to balance that incredibly overwhelming endorsement, what actually have been the ways that you've dealt with the problems, or have you got any sort of advice for how you would normally deal with people who have problems?
Have an issue, as if they can't use it, Paul, or just
Yeah. So do you have a process in place to deal with people who are, I mean, have you done documentation or?
Okay, so yeah, firstly, I had a look at the documentation that you guys had put out for it, and then I used the bulk of that, but adapted it for my work site. I sent that out as just a little one-page cheat file type thing, so that they could go through step by step. And then I'm on hand during the business hours. So I do a lot of one-on-one training, or I'll go and do a bit of group training. Just always happy to assist our users here. So, and when the users are not happy with it, they'll tell me. And generally it's just, "Oh, why can't we get emails when the booking's been made?" So then again, I just ask you guys and it gets done.
Yeah, and that was one of those situations where we heard that from multiple sites. So Golden Plains had the exact same request. So that immediately highlights it to us as something that we should do when we've got multiple customers talking about it. Then yeah, we act pretty quickly to implement it, I think. So we don't have much time left, but I do want to show some of the configuration and analysis side of the application that's available around this pool vehicle booking stuff. So I'll just jump into sharing my screen again.
Perhaps you could answer just before you do that, Anthony's question on the asset. Just quickly show him the configuration on the asset.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to show you a few different areas. So we've got the asset here, and most of this configuration specific to the booking system is down in our booking and hire section. So we can go down there. So you can see we can set our hire rates. We can decide who to notify when the asset's booked. So in the situation where it does have a responsible person...
We don't seem to be seeing what you're showing.
Is everyone seeing what I'm showing?
Yeah, no, we're seeing it.
Yeah, it just doesn't show on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So notify on booking, that drives who gets notified when the asset gets booked. So in that situation where you've got a private use vehicle or community use vehicle that's available for booking during the day, they can, if they want to, we can set up the asset so that they get notified every time it's booked. So they're aware of, that my asset's going to be booked at 9 a.m., has been booked for 9 a.m. tomorrow. So I actually need to be in the office by then. Otherwise I need to arrange something else, that sort of thing. You can see here, this is where I'm able to set up the hire pools that this asset belongs to. And you can see here that I can select many. So this vehicle can belong to multiple hire pools. We've got our configuration of the available for hire days. Operates in a very similar way to the business days and hours. So this is the available hire days and the default booking hire rate that should be used. So in this case, hourly. And then we've got some KeyWatcher configuration as well. On the account, there's a little bit there, so I'll quickly show you that. Obviously, you've got your mobile phone number that can populate through if you want to put that in. And we've got our notification section. So again, this is where you guys as administrators can go into someone else's account and configure their asset booking system email notifications. And we've got the configuration of their vehicle hire pools as well. So what vehicle hire pools do I have access to as Adam Griswood when I log into that asset booking page? One thing I didn't show you actually was the vehicle hire, vehicle policy acknowledged. So when someone logs into the booking page, if you have the vehicle policy acknowledged, it will show a dialog box for them before they can actually book a vehicle that they have to agree to. When you want to make updates to that vehicle use policy, then you can automatically reset everyone's accounts so that they have to re-agree to that policy. And this was something that came out of, I think, our conversations, Chris.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so I think from memory, your HR team wanted just that. Obviously, they have onboarding processes sitting in the background, but they wanted that extra layer of confirmation that people are aware of and can easily access that vehicle use policy.
Correct, yeah.
Just quickly going into the analysis side of it. So we've got some analysis going on here. So you can see down the left-hand side here, I've got assets and a date period that I've selected. So this is in the last 6 months. And it's a count of how many bookings there have been for each asset in the last 6 months. So you can start to quickly identify which vehicles are getting used heaps and booked heaps, and which vehicles maybe are just sitting there not getting used. And you can see it's breaking down by the count per person as well. So you can see who are the people who are using which assets a lot, basically, is what this is answering. You can filter this by the pools as well. So if you want to see a certain pool, you can see a certain pool and who's been booking vehicles in that pool. So you can filter it down to what you want to see necessarily. And you can, do your usual things that you can do in Formbird, like filter your bookings to find certain bookings and export those sort of things. On the configuration side of it, you've got your booking configuration. So you can come in here And this is where you can set some of those rules that you want for your booking system. So things like what should happen for bookings that belong to an asset that's not related to the key cabinet, whether that should default to auto close and commence at the booking start and end times, whether you want users to be able to book assets for other users that might not be part of that asset's pool, allowing users with allocation for community use, private use to book during the unavailable times. There's a whole lot of different things in here. We won't go through each of them individually. This is where you can control those fields on the booking form around, whether the job should be shown and whether it should be mandated. So this is quite easy to configure how you want it to be for all of those fields. And looking at what fields are available to show up when you hover your mouse over or tap on the asset in the asset axis of the calendar. To define what characteristics you want to show up to your drivers, and even down to the Paul's done an incredible job here, really. Even down to the colors that you want different things to show up as in the calendar. So if you want your assets that are tagged out to be red, or whether you want your urgent daily drivers to also be red, or whether you want your asset repair to be pink, you can pretty much choose whatever you want. So if you wanted to change that asset repair color, you can select it, you can define it however you like to be whatever you want it to be. Here's your configuration of the vehicle use policy. So this is where you can pop it in there, you can add attachments, all that sort of stuff. And this is just some basic KeyWatcher integration side of things. Oh, one thing I haven't talked about so far that really should mention is for general users, you can essentially manage their access to the key cabinet directly from Formbird. So there's not the need to maintain all of those drivers in Formbird Fleet, which they probably already have access to for pre-starts, as well as in KeyMass. So on the individual's account, I'll leave that one, go to my account. We basically control this through their KeyWatcher access. So if I find this section here, you can see the KeyWatcher details here, KeyWatcher access. So this is what we create for an account within Formbird that drives whether this particular user can access the key cabinet and book vehicles that are in the key cabinet. Essentially, the logic that's at work behind this is when you go and create this KeyWatcher access for somebody, we go and talk to KeyMass and ask them whether that user with that email address already exists. If it does already exist within KeyMass, so we're not overriding anything, if it does already exist within KeyMass, we simply retrieve its KeyWatcher user ID and record it in the system here, so it's easily accessible to the person themselves, but also other people, like administrators. If they don't already have that user set up in KeyMass, we don't find it there, then we go and create that user in KeyMass directly, so that you don't have to go into KeyMass and maintain your user list across both sections. Pretty much the only configuration you end up needing to do in KeyMass necessarily is defining your keys and how you want those keys to be named within the KeyMass system, which drives how they are labelled when you select it on the key cabinet itself. That's pretty much the only bit that's needed, and a couple of configuration things around that. Any further questions based on that little extra bit of discussion?
Or anything we've left out, Chris? And just like make sure we say thank you for Chris. That's very nice.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
I'm understanding that if we get a new staff member, do we need to then notify KeyMass that there's a new staff member to?
No, so you would add them as an account within Formbird, like you do with the rest of your user list that you need to maintain within Formbird. And then to give them access to KeyWatcher, the key cabinet, you simply add a KeyWatcher access to their account within Formbird. You don't need to necessarily tell KeyMass directly. That's handled through the integration. You can do it that way if you want to, but yeah, it can be managed through Formbird.
It really becomes an extension to Formbird, not a separate
it's easier
system.
adding them here than it is putting them as a driver. Is that what you're saying? You don't have to put them down as a driver, you just put them in here?
Yeah, you just add them as an account as you usually would, define them how they usually would be defined according to our app roles. So yeah, 90% of cases probably going to be a driver. And then it's as simple as adding their KeyWatcher access to their accounts to say, yeah, they should have access to KeyWatcher.
You can do it for all stuff. Like you can do it for like drivers, operators, admins, all in this one area.
And really, because of the details that we already have within Formbird, there's very little that you need to enter. Pretty much, we already know the email address because they have an account within Formbird. The KeyWatcher user ID gets generated automatically or retrieved from KeyMass if it already exists. So then really, all you actually have to set is the PIN, and then that's away you go, really.
Great.
And sorry, and card number if they if you have the swipe card function set up in the Keybox.
Correct, card number. Look, what we've done with the implementations at Shepparton and Golden Plains is we bulk created these for them based on the user list as it was. Obviously, from there it needs to be maintained, but yeah, for the initial rollout, we bulk create these for all the users that should have access. Do you have another question there, Marie? No, cool.
Okay, well, we are 7 minutes before the end of the hour. It'd be great to sort of wrap it up. Unless there's anybody else who has anything to say, I'd like to thank everybody. I'd like to particularly thank Adam, who obviously did an amazing job. Ed, special appearance. Did it all go well? Okay, good. So we are looking at our next meetup, which will be which is called Meetup 28, and Adam and I will discuss what the topic is, and it'll be on the 9th of October. So you'll get an email probably next week with the video recording of this one, and also an invite to the next one in October. Until then, we'll say keep on trucking. And thanks, Adam.
Keep on
thanks,
driving,
Mark.
maybe.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Ed. And anybody else? Oh, Paul. I bet Paul spoke as well. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Marie, good to see you too.
Thanks. See you.